There's a lot of problems, though, if you think about it. Handing over your credit card details over to your ChatGPT or your AI agent. First of all, how can we prove that a user gave that agent a specific authority to make a purchase? How can a merchant be sure that an agent's request is accurate and it's not hallucinating? Because we know that still right now a lot of LLMs hallucinate about 20% of the time. And if there's a fraudulent transaction, who is to blame here? Is it going to be the user for giving the permission, the issuers, the merchant side, or the AI model itself? So these are all questions that we all, as a collective ecosystem, has to answer. But some companies have started to get a head start in creating these protocols from MasterCard, from Visa, as well as Google and ChatGPT, to look at the correct way of flow of information amongst these parties to ensure that there is no problems. By the way, for everyone who is taking photos, there's a QR code at the end that you can scan and then get a lot of these slides so you don't have to take photos. I know I'm also moving pretty fast. So what banks need to do is they're moving from verifying people to verifying AI agents that's acting on behalf of people. On the good side of things is, as consumers, we're all going to get this fancy shopping concierge that our earlier speaker talked about too. Is now we have this fancy concierge that can wait for us. If you know about this phenomenon of Taylor Swift and trying to buy her concert tickets, it's a craze in the US. Some Americans would fly to Europe just to go to her concert, so people were waiting for hours on her website to buy those tickets. But now, or in the future, with that AI agent, they can wait online on behalf of you. They can also negotiate for you. There's some new startups now that's coming in that started to work with retailers like ASOS, where they can negotiate on a certain price. There are now shopping agents that can decide which best credit card to use for a particular transaction. And so in the different roles that we have, whether you're the consumer, the merchant, the transaction, or if you're in the compliance layer, in the future, how will this change? The consumer layer is going to become that AI shopper. So an AI agent is going to replace the original human shopper. And the merchant layer, the goal of the merchant now is to be a robust, discoverable, API-enabled marketplace where they probably don't need to work on as much on their front ends, but just make sure that they're highly discoverable and highly crawlable by one of those answer engines. And the transaction layer, it's important to create this trust fabric, because we have to know and verify who gave that direction, if that direction was valid, and know that these are valid things, that are valid transactions that are happening. And then finally, if something goes wrong, who are we to blame? So the audit trail side of things is probably what we'll spend a lot of time in on the compliance side. So we used to say this thing called software eats the world. Now, this new thing that we're talking about is where AI is eating software that eats the world, because it's not just commerce that's changing, it's all sorts of